All right, Mr. DM. Now
All
you're
right,
on
all
the
right.
chair. This is our beautiful DM chat. Look
Hello.
at him.
Hello.
Chats.
Chat. Oh no.
All right, DM. For people discovering Starwood right now, who are you and who do you play in this campaign?
I am Mael, and I am the DM, the Dungeon Master for this campaign.
And you play everyone.
I play literally everyone that's not the players.
Yes, sir. And you, Matt, how long have you been playing D&D?
For 15 years?
We basically started at the same time.
Yeah,
We were the
14,
first group.
Yeah,
14 years.
14 years.
Yep.
Mostly DMing, a little bit of playing. Very little bit.
Maybe 5% playing, 10%
Yeah.
playing.
Mainly DMing.
You guys ever heard of Forever DMs?
That's me. That's me.
Honestly, 5% is a stretch.
Yeah, no, honestly.
It's true.
Yeah,
It's
it's
true.
probably lower than 5%, but I enjoy playing.
And what do you enjoy most about D&D?
DMing.
Fair.
Actually, the storytelling aspect of D&D is my go-to. It's the reason I like to play. I like to tell stories. I like to write. I studied filmmaking, so like just being a DM is like the same thing for me. It's telling a story.
Awesome. And for someone new to Starwood, what is this campaign about?
Starwood is about history. It's about understanding what happened so that you can change the future of this land. And I think it's the same for the players, who all have their own histories and have to figure out what happened in their past and what they can do about it now to change it later. And I mean, it's a dark campaign, so like the history of Starwood it's dark, but I think it's understanding what made this place this way that makes Starwood Starwood.
Wow. That's actually eye-opening, even for a
Mhm.
player. Awesome. And what themes or ideas are at the heart of this campaign?
Well, the name of the game is Starwood, so it's taking in account what I said earlier. The history is very sad. It's a sad history, but I think that's why the main theme is hope. I think the players they call themselves the Dawnbringers, and it's rightfully so. They bring hope in this dark and sunless land. They are the dawn. So yeah, I think the main theme is hope.
Hope in the moist lands.
Hope in the moist. No, my beautiful world. My dark and intriguing world. It's moist. It's just moist.
So, other than moist, can you give us a quick recap on what are the players doing in today's session and why?
The players have been working to clear this land of its threats and its evil for the last 4 years, but in game something like almost a year, but not quite. And they've focused mainly on the south region, which is Pinewood, and because their main goal is to clear the silver mines for the nobles of Belberg. But to do that, they need a strong point where they can live, because in this campaign it's difficult and a long rest is 5 days, and you can't rest outside of a town, a safe place. So their goal for a long time was to save Sternhill, which is kind of situated in the middle of Pinewood, so that they could have a place to rest and attack like harder, more challenging dungeons and encounters. To do that, they did a lot of things, and they basically already cleared it. People already live in the town. But under the town, there's this small coal mine that has been obviously overrun with some type of curse. And they kind of put it at bay, but they really want Sternhill to be safe. And to do that, they have to finish the job. So now they're in the mines, and they're gonna try to finish the job.
All right, so here's my question I cooked up. Why did you choose these players to play in this campaign?
So originally there were four. Isaac is no longer with us because he moved away.
He's still alive, yeah.
He's still alive, but his character died, and it kind of fell in line with when he was going to move away. He died like 6 months before he moved away. The players brought him back, and he's different and not quite the same person anymore as a consequence of being back from the dead. All that to say that we kind of use that in a way to excuse him from not being at the table anymore, and he might come back when he comes back in our region. But I chose them because of all the players. I've run a campaign with maybe 10 players. Don't do it. Don't do it. It was a lot of fun, but don't do it. It's a lot of work. They were the most forward with their roleplay. They were the most invested in the development of their character's psyche, as opposed to when it's perfectly fine to be like devoted to combat or devoted to like solving the puzzle or devoted to the story. You need everything to play a campaign, but this campaign was going to be difficult, and it was going to be very, very, very focused on roleplay. So the players that I chose, which is Isaac, Liam, Elijah, and Eric, are people who are either very devoted to roleplay or very good, like mechanical understanders of the game, or both. And I think we have a great balance in this group, so that's why I chose them.
And who's your favorite character?
My favorite character
in the party.
I'm not too sure if you should respond to that.
That's tough. That's tough. I like all of your characters for very different reasons.
Okay, well, you can say that then. Say one word for each character that for why you like them.
I think I'm going to start with Isaac's character, Wayne. Wayne tied the group together and was a very important dynamic in the roleplay. And I think losing him brought a very sophisticated dynamic to the group, because now the person that tied them together is gone, and they have to cope with that, and they have to fill in his void with each other. And I think it's a very interesting roleplay aspect. Pasha is surprisingly more mysterious than the character that I kind of thought would be the most mysterious, which is Marcus. And I like that. I think Pasha leans into the mystery and is tied to a spiritual aspect of Sarwood that would otherwise not be explored. And I think she is the vessel of that kind of otherworldly part of Sarwood, which I'm realizing now would not be the same story without Pasha. So Pasha is great for that. I think Sterling is the leader. Like you said in your interview, Sterling is definitely the leader. And he's also a catalyst. He leads them in what he thinks is right, which brings them in situations that if someone else led them would not be happening. And I think that brings a lot of interesting roleplay. But also, I think your character has an important role when it comes to in the city. I think no one has a more important role in the party when it comes to discussing with NPCs, like inside of the like civilized part of Sarwood, than Sterling, which has become very important with the politics and the vampire. There's a lot to go about in that, and I think Sterling has a very interesting relationship also with Elkin. He absolutely hates him, but he's realizing that he won't have a choice to deal with him. So yeah, I think Sterling is a role play key to the group.
100%.
Yeah.
I
Nice.
And combat wise, he pops off, but like role play wise, he's very important. And Marcus ties into the history of Sarwood, and I think he drives the story forward. He discovers parts of himself that lead the story of the campaign. Like it takes leaps instead of taking step by step, and it's very interesting to see a person, because Marcus is amnesiac partially, and having him discover the history through his memories is, as a storyteller, a great medium for me to give you things that you might have not known otherwise. And I think it's, for the story, Marcus he's an important character. Yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so no more of my questions. What moments so far best represents what this story is about?
I think the moment that represents this story the most was Wayne's death, because they knew someone was going to die eventually. The game is hard. We use a lot of homebrewed mechanics that make the difficulty of the game much higher than a normal D&D campaign. But they've been maneuvering it very well for the last 4 years. And when Wayne died, I think they'd gotten confident with the mechanics. And his death kind of caught them off guard. And that was mechanically very important for them to figure out, like, oh, okay, we can still die, we have to still be careful. But also, I think roleplay-wise, they had to understand that they lost, like I said earlier, like the core of the group. It was like the heart of the Dawnbringers. And it drove a narrative that I think is to the core of Sarwood. Like I said, the history is it's a sad history, but the campaign is about the hope of how do you overcome this sad past, this tragic history. And Wayne is the tragic history of the Dawnbringers. It's their sad past, and now they are in the midst of overcoming it. And I think that reflects the campaign in the characters a lot. Yeah.
Wow, real.
Mm.
What choice made by the party has had the biggest long-term consequences?
Marcus sneaking in the Duchess's manor in the second
I think
session.
it was the first session.
Bro, she sucks.
No,
Maybe
second,
the first.
second,
it
'cause it
wa-
was the boat. The first session was the boat.
Exactly. So second session, 4 years ago, Marcus, I hinted at the suspicious nature of the remaining nobility in Belberg. They kind of stay hidden behind masks and don't show themselves in public a lot. And their employer is the Duchess, like the ruler of Belberg. And Marcus is like the definition of curiosity killed the cat. So he instantly goes, yeah, I'm gonna go spy on her. I'm gonna go like sneak into her house and get some information, which he kind of did get, but not really, and ended up getting caught by another spy. And that had a lot of consequences. He ended up under the thumb of the criminal activity in the city, and that has had many snowballing impacts within the campaign. And they are now tightly tied to Elkin, which is the crime lord of Belberg, in a very love-hate, warm-cold relationship. They're juggling his ways and his actions against what he's trying to accomplish. And in a way, they kind of agree what he's trying to accomplish is a good thing, but he's doing it as a criminal and kind of not the best way, let's just say. So, and they're like indebted, kind of indebted to him. So, yeah, it has had a lot of past consequences and still does. So definitely, fuck man,
Yeah,
4
it's-
years
four-
of consequences.
But it was a decision that was made by a player who played D&D campaigns for fun
Mm.
and not like hardcore shit, you know?
Yeah.
So like that's when he fucked around
and
and
found out. Yeah, it was a great lesson. It was a great lesson. They're getting out of under his thumb as
Yeah,
we speak,
we're-
but
we're-
it took 4
But
years.
right now, because of the vampire, we're starting to kind of work as equals.
Yeah,
in
the
a
enemy
way.
of my enemy is my ally kind
Yeah.
of thing. So.
So, last question. What is ultimately at stake if the players fail in Sarwood?
So I always write stories knowing the endings possible and the beginning. And then the rest kind of writes itself in the middle. So I've always known the possible endings, and I never write one ending because that's just lame writing, especially when you have people playing your game. But no matter the ending, it will have major consequences for the world outside of Sarwood. So if the players fail, it might have very negative consequences for the world around it. And if they succeed, they might... Sarwood is extremely abundant in silver, in rich soil, in magic even, so it might benefit the world. I think it mainly what it's going to do is have consequences for the next campaign.
All right. So, we're at the lightning round now. All right. So, for the campaign, describe Sarwood. Don't say moist.
Survival horror.
Pinewood or farmlands?
Definitely farmlands. Much more roleplay, heavy, scary.
Yeah,
They're not scared in Pinewood. They are scared in the farmlands. Yeah. Yeah.
And that's why we're never going. What mystery are you most eager that we uncover, I imagine? Not you, because you know the mystery, right?
Yeah. So many. I think your characters' backstories all have mysteries tied to them. And I am excited to see which one develops the furthest first. Because all of you have very important backstories. Hopefully you don't die. Wayne died and he had an important backstory. So.
Oh, shit. Most important NPC to the party?
Across a campaign, Dutch is the main.
No cap. Oh, God.
For real.
Yep. And who's been keeping that relationship going, huh? Greatest ally?
Belrin. Captain Belrin.
Sir. Worst enemy?
The Crones.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yes.
For real.
Describe the party in one word.
Dawnbringers.
Fuck yeah. Greatest strength in one word.
Prepared.
Greatest fear in one word.
Me.
Yeah. That's 100%.
And for the Dawnbringers, do you see power, love, or freedom?
I think love. For the Dawnbringers, love.
Hell yeah.
Mm.
Well, thank you very much, Mal.
Hey.
Oh yes.
I want my card too. Come on now.
I'm sorry. Wait, I'm gonna shuffle because he knows where they are.
I'm gonna let's go for the middle one. The middle one.
Whoa!
Winds of Chaos. When played, this is the player version. When played, gain 1 boon for the session. Either +1 to a skill, +1 to tolerance, or add to an eventful cards in the event deck. When played, for the DM, choose one way to empower the environment. Decrease the weather, remove 2 non-crit cards from the event deck, or add 1 crit success and 1 crit failure to the event deck.
Oh.
Holy shit!
Oh.
Chaos!
Well,
I like
Yes!
that, though.
thank you, DM.
It's also good for us.